So are you ready for the first ever YBW monthly networking ranking? Exciting, isn't it? Well, at 48 years of age and being married, that's about as exciting as it gets for me these days. So for those who haven't seen my previous video, every month I'm going to publish a list of the events that I've personally attended and rank them in order from first to last. These views are totally my own, and you're fully entitled to disagree with me as much as you like, and I welcome you to put your comments, put your views in the comments. So I'm doing this quite simply so I can be transparent to you guys about the kind of activity that I do day to day, my working life. And if you are looking to network, perhaps opening your horizons to other events may be good for you. But also I'm actually looking to give a little bit of promotion to those events that don't normally get the exposure that you'd normally get from the big boys. And crucially, to give credit to those hosts who never seem to get it. Trust me, for somebody who's actually run, well, I run 50 events a year, I've run hundreds over my 15 plus year career. Take it from me, it's a thankless job running events. So, which events did I go to in January? So in date order on screen, you've got the 7 events that I attended in January. 3 were online, which marked with an OL, and 4 were in person, which I've marked with an IP. Most were completely free to attend, or I had a guest ticket, and the only one which was actually charged was Ian Gardner's Networking for Growing Businesses event, which was charged at, it was something about £12, something like that, so really reasonable. And regardless of wherever I rank these events, I'd actually encourage yourselves, or anybody who's interested in networking, to go and try them out yourself. Networking preference is a really personal thing, so I'd love to actually hear your opinion should you want to go to any. And if you want to go to those events, I have put links in the description to either the events themselves or to the organisers, and I'm sure they'll be more than happy for you to reach out to them. Right, so that's enough waffling to build a bit of tension. We better get to the ranking. Let's get a drum roll, please. As this is a new feature, I better explain how I actually rank events. Now, when I'm reviewing networking, and you'll see this on other videos, I look at 5 factors. First of all, look at the value, so both in terms of cost, in terms of pound notes, but also value in terms of time. I look at how well you can actually engage, because let's face it, if you're going to an event, you want to be able to talk to people, the actual numbers, how many people are at the event. Not so we get hung up on what the biggest is or the smallest, because some of my favourite events are actually sometimes the smallest events. Okay, but are the numbers right for the actual event format and also for where we are, and also feeling. Now, this is difficult to explain on screen, but if you've ever done network, you'll know that the hosts themselves can make you feel really important. They make you feel like you belong there, and equally sometimes the room itself just doesn't give you that, well, just that warm fuzzy feeling, does it? And finally, also look at basically whether I'd actually return to that event or not. But for this ranking, I've also included how that event has worked for me. Now, this is, like I say, it's my ranking, my personal networking preference on mine. If you disagree, that's perfectly fine. Put it in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. So, away we go. So we have 7 events. And I'm going to start off by excluding event from the ranking. Now, that event's the Clockwork Eye Video Creator Club event, because I'm going to be honest, this event is in its concept phase, and that's just not fair to them, basically, to put that amongst other more established events. Now, if you've not come across Clockwork Eye and the Video Creators Club before, it's something I'm personally a member of, and I'm a member to help me create better quality videos. And to be honest, it's really good value for money. So, speaking to Gareth and Mick, basically they decided to add a little bit of extra value to their members by turning one of their regular slots into a networking event. But it's really early for them. They're trialing things. So, trust me, it really isn't fair for me to put them in this at the moment, but it will be something for them to watch, and I've still put links to them actually in the description. So we've gone from 7 to 6, and on screen that way, okay, I've actually put basically, well, places 6 through to 3rd, and I'm going to keep my powder dry for the top spots for dramatic effect, because, well, quite frankly, it's a bit of fun to make Steve and Ian squirm for a few minutes. So why have I ranked them in this order? Let's go through them one by one. Now, bottom of the pile in 6th place, we've got Enterprise Nations Online Small Business Scotland. And this placement is in no way a reflection of the passion that Patricia Bowman has and how hard she works. That really, really, really should be commended. But for me, this event just didn't work. There are too many elements crammed into an hour because Patricia's trying to do everything she can to create engagement for the people there, which is, like I say, it really should be commended. But unfortunately, it's really clear to see that Enterprise Nation just haven't supported Patricia in basically creating this event, which is really disappointing given the reach and resources they've got. Now in 5th place, we have BNI Action. Now, I can hear the keyboard warriors going at it already, but I've scored BNI Action in 5th place for a reason. Now, be under no illusion, this event was brilliantly run, it was super slick, there were some great people there, and I've met some old faces, which was brilliant to see. But quite frankly, the standard BNI meeting format, for me, just doesn't work as an online event. It just doesn't work. Now, I'll explain this in a different video later, but quite frankly, there's very few chances to interact unless you really start thinking outside the box, which, to be fair, you shouldn't really have to do. And I've always cringed at the pitch at the end. Okay, so in 4th place we've got Brummies, and this is an event I've supported for over 10 years. I still attend on a regular basis. It's open networking, it's free, and pre-COVID, this really was my go-to event with over 80 people at every event. And in January it was fine, there's about 15 people there. But unfortunately for me, I could just never get away from the thought of the glory days, shall we say, which makes me always a little sad. Because I'd really love this event to be back to where it was, because the room size itself, even though the event was fine, open networking, loved it, but it's just too big for recent numbers. And because of that, people get lost and it loses the atmosphere. But again, it's still excellently run by Ewan, Richard and co there. Now in 3rd place, and now I know she's going to be giggling when she sees this because she was really nervous, is the event hosted by Painters Law and Catherine Ross. This was a brilliant event, and really brilliant because this was their first ever outing. Now there was about 16 people there, there was a great speaker, lovely venue, it was well run, there were free pastries which were lovely even though I am on a diet, and I love the ethos of what they're trying to do to get the local business community together as well as those from a little bit further afield. This is something I'm definitely going to be going to again and definitely want to watch. Right then, the top 2, we ought to really get them into a boxing ring together really. You know, so I'd pay to see that. Ian versus Steve, so Ian versus the Quiff. Right, anyway, so I'm not going to delay any longer. In 2nd place, we've got Milk One Sugar, which is hosted by Steve Pitt. If you've not met Steve before, when he runs an event, he's always apologetic about it, which is completely endearing, I've got to be honest. But this is a really simple format. I've loved it for years. It's rock up, you buy a coffee, you chat, and there's a talky bit towards the end. There was high teams in terms of numbers for in January, which is absolutely perfect for the room. And for me, there are more smaller businesses, which is perfect for my target market. Steve, really well done. And that leaves top spot, which goes to Ian Gardner's Networking for Growing Businesses. Now, if you know Ian, and I know that many of you watching this may well do because Ian's one of the most connected people I know, you know that he runs a really top-notch event. Now, for the one I attended in January in Birmingham, there was 30 or so in attendance. This was the only paid event I went to, but it was still really good value and clearly the one with the biggest or the greatest buzz by a long way. Now, personally for me, there were too many what I would classify as suits and people in the financial sector, and being a short arse, I also found it a little bit crowded at points. But even so, this was still the standout event for me in January, which I don't know if I have to now produce a certificate or something. Ian, when you see me, let me know if you'd like one. But I know already he's just going to say, Brett, just get me a pint, will you? Okay, so if you can have a round of applause and some kind of cheers, or whoever's editing this, can you put some kind of confetti or something in if you can? So the top spot for January goes to Ian Gardner and Networking for Growing Businesses. So that's it, January done. But do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Do you think I should be burnt at the stake for not ranking BNI higher? Or do you think I should be awarded an MBE for just telling the truth? Quite frankly, who cares? But put your thoughts in the comments anyway. Now, this is a brand new channel, so if you'd like to be notified about February's ranking or when the full reviews of each event actually drop, all you have to do is to subscribe to the channel and hit that bell icon. Now, before I forget, if there are any events that you would like me to review, or perhaps you'd like to have some tips on how to get better value from that event, or even an event host who would like to get a bit of free publicity, again, let me know in the comments and I'll do what I can to accommodate. So that all it leaves me to say is I really hope you enjoyed watching, and have a great day, and I'll see you soon. Bye.